Hey guys, welcome to the question answer discussion of 20th of September, guys. So let's see the very first questions. Before starting, guys, let me tell you that today's question will be a bit of analytical part. Means you just have to delve depth into depth of the question to analyze that what question is actually asking. So these questions are actually really very good. So guys, let's start it. What India needs is not interlinking of river but something else to achieve water, agriculture and livelihood security. This is the statement given and you just have to comment on that statement. Now, usually we tell that when the directives like comment comes up, then we have to write both the angle of the questions. But just analyze the question first, then decide that what you have to write. So let's see. What India needs is not interlinking of river. Means India doesn't need interlinking of river, right? But what India needs is to achieve water security, agriculture security and livelihood security. All right, means you have to write that what India needs to do to achieve its water security, what India needs to do to achieve its agriculture security, and what India needs to do its means secure its livelihood security, right? These 3 points you have to have. Means this is must, you will write, right? Now how you will comment this part. Now the negative point what I have analyzed to the question is I will put the negative of interlinking of rivers, right? Because the essence of the question is asking that only, that we don't need interlinking of river, but we need these things. So why we don't need interlinking of river, that might be, you can incorporate it as a, your actually answer part. So why we don't need this interlinking of river? Because there are few issues which are coming up when we interlink the river, so we will deal those negative issues also, right? So yeah, we'll analyze that like this. And yeah, for introduction part, what you can do is you can write the definition of interlinking, that what is interlinking of river, right? So yeah, so write the definition of interlinking of river, that I'm not going to explain, guys. I've already explained it previous day before yesterday, if I'm not wrong. In that class I have explained. So let's see that what are the failure of this interlinking. First of all, there are allegations that environment get degraded, which is actually happening, because if you're interlinking the rivers, then the middle jungle, you have to cut this jungle off, right, to just make the river, to make the channel of this river. So the biodiversity is getting affected, the flora and fauna of this region is getting affected, means environmentally is totally getting degraded. Groundwater level is getting reduced, of course. If you are interlinking, if say this is the water rich river and this is the water less river, and you are interlinking to transfer water from here to here, then of course the earlier which the available of water which was available in this region will not be available to that extent from now onwards after interlinking. Means the groundwater level will get reduced in this river. All right, next is siltation activities will promote. Next is of course siltation activities will be promote. I don't think that this, I would need to understand it, make it understand to you. I don't think that. Next is rehabilitation. Of course, rehabilitation, if you are just cutting the jungle of hair, then you have to rehabilitate the tribal or the whatever be the population existing in that region to any other region. This is but obvious, right? And there sometimes it results in earthquake also, because see, when interlinking of river is done, then say for example here they are constructing some sort of check dams also. Since they are construction of dam is occurring there, so in that region water is getting very much loaded, which was earlier not prevailing that time, right? So there is a chance of occurring of seismic activities also, which have already occurred in many parts of India and all over the world wherever dam has been constructed. All right, so there is this was also negative front of this interlinking of river, what you can mention in your answers. Next is there's huge expenditure and we don't have money. So this is the very good answer, right? Very good point. Next come to the main part of the question, what is actually a question asked, that what India must do, means what the government must do to secure this water management thing. So what they can do is they can promote rainwater harvesting, which is still not practiced in many part of India, right? But still it is practiced in many parts of Rajasthan, western Rajasthan region, because there the amount of rainfall is very much less. So that's why they carry out this water harvesting technique. There means the government must explore, the agriculturalists, the environmentalists must explore the possibilities of channelization of river, right? So they don't need to cut the whole chunk of huge this jungles to transfer interlink two rivers, but they can still make out this by construction of channels, small channels, right? Next is, since we are telling that we don't have fund or like that, so what we can do is, up till the implementation of GST, government used to take krishi kalyan cess, so that amount can be employed in this region in development of agriculture and all, okay, for the agriculture infrastructure development, so that water usage efficiency could also get increased. Next is, we can use technological things like cloud seeding, right? If you are using cloud seeding, then we can uh, we can bring out natural, I mean artificial rain in that region, right? So, and there must also, we must also reduce the water pollution thing. See, because here the question has been asked that what, how you will manage the water, right? Means the, now also there is water availability, but what the thing is that we pollute that water, means that water is not of any use. I mean, there is water, but still there is no water. All right. So if we are reducing the water pollution, then we can use that water to our usage. All right. So that's why we need to incorporate all these things for water management. Next is for agriculture security. How you will ensure agriculture security? By introduction of genetically modified crops, because it is seen that developed countries like European countries and US has also using this genetically modified crop, and they are, their agriculture production is huge from us. Next is the schemes like Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. These must be incorporated in letter and spirit, right? Means this must not only limited to letter, but they must also be implemented to ground level, so that the farmers can actually get benefited from the schemes, whatever is being implemented by the government. Next is, there must be a provision of this enam which the central government has introduced. So this must be introduced in pan India process. All right, if it will be introduced in pan India, then it is said that the cartel of this APMCs will get reduced, and the farmers can get respectively much amount of, I mean respectively more amount of this money from the agriculture market. Next is, there must be increase scientist farmer interaction, because at times it happens that scientists don't have ground level knowledge of the things whatever is happening, due to which the farmers are facing problems. So if there is direct interaction between farmers and scientists, then farmers will also get empowered and something, some sort of like that, and scientists will also get to know the ground level problems whatever is being occurring, and likewise they can do research and analysis things in agriculture field and all, right? Next is politics. Now you will think that why I'm including politics in this agriculture security. See guys, sometimes what happens is, say for, I'm giving you the example, then I'll let I mean this, and I'll make you understand this point. In center there is different government, in state there is a different government. All right. Now agriculture is a state subject. All right, but there are some sort of schemes which are being implemented by direct central government. Now, since the name of those schemes start from Pradhan Mantri dash 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 Yojana, so the state government, and the state government is of other party, that's why the state government is not implementing that scheme. So, because if we'll introduce that scheme, then the in next elections the vote will go to the this government. All right. So that's why they are not implementing. Miss, this is political tussle being going on, which is downgrading the condition miss presently occurring level of this farmers. So these must be stopped. All right. Next is how you will secure the livelihood security of these farmers: by land reform. Now I'll give you example. See, now the case is like majority of farmers are marginal farmers, means they have small patches of land. Say for example, 1 2 3 4 4, this head the head this is 16 patches of land, means 16 farmers are owning this whole plot. Now after bringing the land reform, they have collated themselves, and they have become one, just one. Now earlier, between two farming lands, this few portion was left behind for to so that which creates the partition between two fields. Now after the land reform, if they both, if they all come up together, so then this part of land which is being earlier vested will be reduced. All right, means the proportion of land which was earlier available will increase to few some sort of extent. And since all the agriculture, all the farmers are coming together, then they can produce variety of crops, and they can respectively earn more money from out of it, right? So that's why it's being said that to ensure the livelihood opportunities of those poor and downtrodden section, what we need is the land reforms wherever it is needed to enhance productivity. There must also be increase of awareness generation to make these farmers and poor sections empowered, because if they get to know the agriculture technologies and apps, then they can directly interact with those things, and they can empower themselves, right? They must also be getting, I mean, aware, make aware of the laws whatever is being there, because at times what being seen that the government employees take bribe from these farmers by telling that okay, this scheme is not like that, but this scheme is like that. Means farmers are illiterate, actually illiterate, right? They don't know anything whatever the government officials tell them, so they just they are like okay, yeah, whatever they said, that will be right. So that's why I'm telling that they must be known to these laws also of the government which is running, so that they will get to know that okay, what wrong is being made, I mean, is being done to me, and what right is being done to me, they will get to know at least, huh? Next is if they were getting aware, then they will be they will use the optimum resource usage. Say for example, if they are given with the soil health card, then they will be at least knowing that okay, what amount of fertilizers I need to purchase. All right, so earlier when they were not having this soil health card, so they were going to the shops to purchase fertilizer, and fertilizer shop owner tells them that okay, you purchase 1 kilo of this fertilizer, if you will put more fertilizer, then you will having more crops. But now after getting this soil health card, they are empowered. All right, they know that what amount of fertilizer I actually need to this much amount of proportion of ground, right? So means earlier the shop owner used to make them fool, but from now onwards they will not be able to make them fool, because these farmers are empowered. So that's why I'm telling that to ensure the livelihood security, to make their earning more, government must do some things to make them empower. Next, you can incorporate the governmental schemes like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, and you can explain it to extent whatever you need. Next is Startup India and Stand Up India is also there. All right, and government is doing many things to incorporate it in the rural sections of society. Next is government also, to ensure the livelihood security, government also should give the vocational training to the people who have either left their who have either like left their education, or left, who don't want to do labor in this agriculture field, so their talent might be channelized to other sectors of economy, right? So these are kind of answer you can write it. Okay, next question is coordination and service reform measures are urgently needed for apex level efficiency of defense policy and administration. You have to analyze this right now. See guys, just read the statement. Coordination and service reform measures are urgently needed for apex level efficiency in defense policy and administration. Means you have to write that why defense, what is the basic crux of this defense policy administration, and you can incorporate it the why this is needed, means why it is urgent needed to increase their efficiency, right? Because you can put few examples that recent Doklam standoff whatever is being occurred, so these are the lack of these our defense policy and administration only, right? There were lack in the coordination and service reforms in this defense sector. That's why these type of occurrence are happening, like Doklam standoff recently. Then there used to be infiltration from the Pakistan side to India. They sent terrorists. So why these are happening? Because there are some areas where the coordination is not there in our defense sector. So you just have to analyze that thing also. So what you need to do is you need to write the challenges. What are the challenges there occurring in our defense policy and administration as of now? And second part, what you can incorporate is you can put the way forward points also, right? So let's see, guys. See, defense policy and administration is needed because they are the crux of national security, and few incidents recently shows that our coordination in defense sector is very much needed. And what are those incidents? Like Doklam standoff, insurgent activities which are actually happening in northeastern part of regions of India. Next is terrorist infiltrations which is being done by our western front from Pakistan, right? So these are few of the examples you can write. Now what are the challenges occurring in there? Right, there is often seen that there is leakage of information to Pakistan intelligence agencies like ISI. So how this leakage is happening, in spite of we being more powerful than Pakistan, then there must not be any loopholes left, but still there are loopholes which are utilized by the intelligence sections of other country to to bring forth their motive come true, to bring their motive come true. They are using our information. So this must not happen. And why this are happening? Because there are some loopholes, right? Now there is delays in information sharing. At times it is being alleged that the since the information is not shared at time, so that's why this incident has happened. All right. So next is political benefit. Means political party sees benefit in these type of sectors also, right? I'll tell you by giving an example. Say for example, in center there is a government, all right, and center government has ordered, or the intelligence agencies which are running under center government has by chance encountered a terrorist who is alleged to be a terrorist, because we were having intelligence reports. Now what other parties will do? Other parties will play the political game here. Other party will be telling that, okay, this party has shot the the culprit, the people belonging to this religion, this must not be, this party is following some religious politics and all. Means these kind of worst political games are running in our country. So these are also few of the reasons for which we are not able to actually coordinate in our defense sector, which must not happen, I would say. Next is there is lack of proper training. Yeah, defense personnel don't get proper training because we don't have proper capacity building. It is often alleged that there is inadequate training because the domain knowledge is also very less there, right? Means though he or she is included in this defense sector, but the area of specifications where they are working, they are not having adequate knowledge in that region. So I mean, it will be impossible for them to carry out their work to fullest efficiency. All right. Next is there is clearance at the low there is often needed of clearance at the lower hierarchy of this defense sector. I will make you understand by giving an example that recently we have seen in news that the defense ministry has given some sort of autonomy to border road organizations for the construction of infrastructural activities around the border region. Why they have given them this power? After seeing the Doklam crisis, right? Means earlier it was seen that in India's border region there were not sufficient infrastructure constructed, but after giving of this autonomy, now the border road organization, which earlier used to take huge shot of clearance from defense ministry, from now onwards they don't need to go through that much procedural aspects, right? They just need a normal signature from the whatever be the defense personnel is being appointed, I mean the higher ranks defense personnel. So they just need a signature for that. But earlier they used to go to the home ministry, then home ministry used to see that, okay, should we give the clearance or not, right? So this much thing will not happen from now onwards. Means that lower hierarchy, the defense institution which was in lower hierarchy, which was earlier not getting have got the autonomy, but now since they are getting the autonomy, so the defense sector will will become much more streamlined, and the efficiency of activities will become increased, right? Next is there is inadequate training in the domain knowledge also, guys. Also we have already discussed this actually. So yeah, these are few of the challenges. And what is the need of our today, guys? Actually digital database must be constructed for the coordination of apex level organizations. See, now also there is digital infrastructure available there, but not to the extent, because now the major thing of our digital information is taken away by our ally, that is US, right? But India cannot rely on US to full its extent, right? So that's why what India is doing is like India is waiting for the Navik to come, Navik to become fully operationalized. Then after that, I guess that what my instinct says, that they will incorporate this digital infrastructure to the fullest extent in our defense sector also. All right. So anyways, miss, that is what I'm telling, that there is a need to do that. Now, the toothless institutions working under the apex level organizations must be getting empowered. That, like recently what I've given the example of border road organization, so you can incorporate that also if you want. Now, proper monitoring and evaluations must be there to ensure the accountability of each and every strata of each and every hierarchy of defense sector, so that if some sort of work gets stuck in between the hierarchy, so that must not affect the other hierarchical positions, right? Next is, we must sign MOUs and strategic partnership to coordinate with the expertise countries for the technological exchange, like recently what we did with Israel. So you can put that example also. Next is, there is need to streamline the defense procurement, guys, because defense procurement is also one of the area where, since our defense procurement is not to the extent which was actually needed, we couldn't make self sufficient in this defense sector. So that's why there is very, like, the procurement is not that streamlined, right? So it need to be streamlined. That's what I'm telling. And also, private player must be given allowed to make this defense instrument for us, because this is the region where the private player is totally lacking. And see, if the private players comes, then it is being said that the allegations which are against now put against the DRDO, that is defense research organization, so those allegations will not again pop up. All right. So the overall private player must also be getting included in this defense manufacturing region, so that the professionalism could be increased in this area. All right. So these are a kind of answers which I guess, you can write to get maximum number, right? So all right, guys, so this was about it. We'll meet in next class. Till then, bye bye, take care, and thank you for listening, my guys. Thank you very much.